The organization promoting the responsible use of alcohol, aware.org, says young people who participate in underage drinking are likely to develop alcohol dependence than someone who starts drinking after the age of 20. The organization has expressed a concern at the growing rate of alcohol abuse in South Africa. Mokebe Thulo, head of brand at aware.org, joins us now for more. Mokebe, thank you so much for joining us here on SA Today. So the latest research indicates that about 19.9% claim to have had their first drink by the age of 13, and nearly 50% of high school learners have actually consumed alcohol. What does this say about the country's drinking culture, especially as we commemorate Youth Day today?
Good afternoon and happy Youth Day to you and to all the viewers, of course. What it says is that we have a huge problem on our hands. I mean, if you listen to, of course, the previous interview, all of these issues that we face as a country are almost intertwined. It's almost like this onion that has so many layers and nuances that all affect each other. So when we come back to the problem of underage drinking, it means that we have a huge problem on our hands. Anecdotally, the youngest alcoholic reported by Sanka, which we visited a few years ago at that specific center, is 7 years old.
What?
And it's 7 years old, yeah. Not even a tween, not even a teen. So, yeah, we've got a huge problem in this country. It is not all dire. It's not that the world is ending and the sky is falling. But if we do not fix this problem and we do not work together as a whole of society, then we're not going very far.
But Mokebe, I mean, that is shocking, a 7-year-old. So what are some of those health as well as social risks of underage drinking? Please, and don't be shy to give them that scary picture, because we really, really want them to refrain from underage drinking.
Underage drinking has so many potential consequences, and I think that you have mentioned some of them. A number of them are developmental issues that these young people are then exposed to. And developmental issues are almost cumulative. They start and they get worse and worse as time goes by. As you said, a young person under the age of 18 that consumes alcohol is more likely to develop an alcohol dependency later on in life. In addition to that, as you know, the whole argument about the frontal lobe, etc., a young person under 18 does not have the capacity to make the correct decisions, least of all when it comes to alcohol. I mean, you can't even vote. So how is it that you feel that you're able to consume alcohol? There's also, of course, the health risks, the effects on the human body, your kidney, your liver, your heart. And we've got, actually, it's almost the whole body. We've got a tool or an infographic on our website that shows what alcohol does to the human body. And so young people that consume alcohol open themselves up to all of these, potential risks. And more than that, the reality is that once a person consumes alcohol, a young person consumes alcohol, the rational thinking goes out of the window and they make risky decisions. Some of them include risky decisions related to, sexual behaviors. Some of them include potentially walking under the influence and you getting hit by a car, not seeing the car, or getting hit by a vehicle. There's just so many consequences of underage drinking that it's really not worth it. It's not worth it for the young person doing it. It's not worth it for the rest of society that watches our young people do this and are complicit by not saying anything, by not doing anything.
Absolutely, Mokebe. I mean, we've also had a number of discussions, right, about illicit liquor traders who are only interested in their bottom line and profits and sell this alcohol to underage children. This is another challenge, right? The current liquor trade laws cannot always be enforceable or respected. So it speaks to the fact that government actually has a huge task on its shoulders.
You know, I'm only going to touch on this because this falls strictly under the ambit of the Drinks Federation of South Africa, which is the DFSA. But what I have to say to this is that we cannot possibly put everything under the responsibility of the government. Mm-hmm. The government works for the people, and we are all responsible for what happens in our communities, and that is why it is an all-of-society problem. Mm-hmm. We cannot possibly stand by, watch things happen and say, oh no, law enforcement is not doing what they should do, etc., as much as it does not take away accountability for them. I do not have any interest in speaking on behalf of the government or law enforcement or anything of the sort, but the point I'm trying to make is that it starts in small bites, and it starts with you and me, in my home, in my community, in the school that my children go to. This is where the difference is made.
Mokebe, what lessons can we then take from the Enyobeni Tavern tragedy? Especially, I mean, I get what you're saying, that we cannot shoulder the complete responsibility on government. But I mean, looking at the punishment that was actually meted on the owners as well. And also just maybe in closing, what then would be your message to the youth today?
My message to the youth today, and this should cover the Enyobeni tragedy that should never have happened in the first place. But my message is not just to the youth, but my message to the youth today is that if you make the right decision today, you have a better future tomorrow. And the world doesn't end today. The what you do today speaks to what your tomorrow looks like. My message to parents and caregivers and people in communities is that it's not okay to let young people think that they can drink. It's not okay to send young people to liquor stores or whatever, taverns, shebeens, to go purchase alcohol for you because you are modeling negative behavior. They then think that it is normal. It's not okay to say, oh, it's just one sip, it's a special occasion, let them have it. Because there will be another special occasion, and all of these special occasions are underage drinking. It's not okay for young people that are not legally allowed to consume alcohol. And all of this messaging, we hope, is also expressed in this collaboration that we have with Skeem Saam, that so seamlessly puts these messages into the storyline that people are familiar with, in a show that people watch on an everyday basis, and puts it across in not a preachy or looking down on young people way, because that doesn't work. That's not how messages get brought across. Behavioral change, we know, is not an overnight issue, and it's nuanced, as I said. Young people drink for various reasons, and there's no one person to blame. Not that blame would do any of us any good, but I think that campaigns and projects like the Skeem Saam collaboration help us to communicate this very important message. And I hope that all your viewers will get a chance to at least glimpse some of this very important storyline.